you know what? I thought that I was done making drama videos. If you guys don't know, before I was doing all the gaming and Sonic stuff, I was like doing a lot of other kind of stuff, and there was a lot of drama around it. I'd much rather not talk about it, but yeah, some of you may be aware of that kind of stuff. And I thought by getting into this community that I would be sort of away from that. I mean, obviously every community has drama, but I wasn't expecting to see any drama that I would actually want to cover. But this I actually have a pretty strong opinion on, and I feel, well, not so much the need, but I want to come out and speak about this because it's something that I've had on my mind for a while, and I feel like this just shows it better than I could ever, say in words, if that makes sense. Obviously, I'm still going to say it, but you know what I'm trying to say. So, for those of you who aren't aware, this actually is kind of an old drama in a weird kind of way. So for those of you who don't watch the Sonic Show is a YouTuber who does Sonic news, like just Sonic news videos. He does like he gives like all the latest Sonic news, goes over leaks, and he's typically one of the more positive people in the Sonic community, which is always a good thing in my eyes. I know a lot of people say that it's better to be negative because of the series' reputation, which is fair enough. And I'm not 100% positive myself. I am sometimes a little more wary with things. If you saw my Sonic Rangers video, you'll know that. But yeah, the Sonic Show, or Jayden is the guy who runs it, is usually pretty good. He always represents himself on screen as a raccoon, and his videos are really heavily edited because he himself has a really short attention span and all that stuff. This is all important information, by the way. So like they're all highly edited. There's a lot of weird cuts and zoom-ins and stuff in his videos. So he's kind of like an outlier in the Sonic community. And a couple years back in 2019, he put out a video talking about another Sonic tuber in the community who's pretty well known, being GamerGuyd7Aces, who most of you probably know about. And if you don't know about the whole drama behind GamerGuyd, I'm probably not going to get into it in this video, because I'm going to be honest with you, this video is probably already going to be pretty long. If I went into the whole GamerGuyd thing, this video would be a solid R, honest to God. There's so much with GamerGuyd. Just look up GamerGuyd7Aces Sonic Show, and you'll see a video from, I think it's about 2 years ago now, of him on the Sonic Show channel called The Snake of the Sonic Community or something like that. Just watch that. That completely describes it all perfectly. But basically, that was supposed to be the end of it. That was supposed to be the end of the whole thing. And it was, up until very recently, when a Reddit thread came up on the Sonic Reddit, which I actually saw on the Reddit, talking about how the Sonic Show had just gone completely clickbait, and how his videos were just like very annoying, and they were just clickbait. It was basically what they were trying to say. And I saw this thread, and I'm not gonna lie, I still do kind of agree with it. I do think Jayden's content is a little obnoxious, but when he explains why, which he did a video explaining why, you can kind of understand it. So I said in the previous video something about the Sonic Show and clickbait. I apologize for that. I take that back. I understand why he does it now. But anyway, in that video, he basically defends himself. It's actually a very good video. You should go and watch it. But at some point in that video, he brought up premydaremy, who is another. He's actually a very well respected YouTuber in the Sonic community. Who does a lot of Sonic news, although he does get a lot of hate. Premy gets a lot of shit because of how negative he is, and, well, that's the thing. People always say Premy gets shit because of how negative he is, but I'm going to be honest, I've never thought the reason he got hate was because he was negative. I'll get into this a little bit more later, but yeah, for those of you who may not know, Premy is pretty... he's well liked by the YouTubers in the community, but a lot of people do hate on him. And my opinions on Premy were always that I didn't really like his content. Not because he was negative, because I watch Game Apologists, and he's more often than not pretty negative about Sonic and the whole franchise, but I fucking love his videos. So I knew it wasn't that, but I could never properly put my finger on it, which is actually part of the reason I'm making this video, but we'll talk about that more later. But anyway, Jayden basically said that Premy was taking stuff from his videos and he was previously said that preamy was taking things from Jayden's videos and using them in his own videos without crediting Jayden as a source. And his evidence for this was 2 videos in particular. Now, to be clear, I have not watched these videos, so I don't know whether what Jayden said or not is true or not, but that's not really the point of this video. So I'll sort of, that's not really relevant to the point I'm trying to make. This isn't necessarily talking about the drama. It's more just my views on the preamy side of things and what I sort of think this drama kind of says about him. But regardless, basically, Jayden says that 2 of Prem's videos, specifically I think the ones talking about a rapper playing Knuckles in Sonic Prime, were basically completely stolen from Jayden, not just because he talked about it and Jayden was the first person to find out about that. Literally, the rapper told Jayden himself. But apparently, from what Jayden says, the videos are like basic, just complete rip-offs of Jayden's videos. Like, preamy just completely just stole the videos. And, yeah, Prem was not happy about this. So he made a response video to Jayden's response to the Reddit. I want to point out that Jayden brought Prem up once in the video. Once. He brought him up once just to make that point. And that was it. He also mentioned GamerGuyd for like a second, and that was it. Because he was trying to make it clear that Prem is not as bad as GamerGuyd, which, by the way, Prem is not as bad as GamerGuyd. If you do not know the shit with GamerGuyd, you should go and watch that video as I said about earlier. But Prem was not happy about this, and neither was GamerGuyd, because if you don't know, Prem and GamerGuyd are actually very, very good friends, and I've always found that very weird, that even though GamerGuyd is like, there is proof that the dude is shady as hell, Prem has always stuck by him. I never held it against Prem, because obviously your friends are your friends, which whatever, but I always thought that was kind of weird, I'm not going to lie to you, but I just sort of shrugged it off, and yeah, they both were fucking furious about this. So they both made their own response videos. I may talk about GamerGuyd's response a little bit later. In fact, I probably will. Actually, no, I will talk about his response a little bit later in this video, because there's some things that he said in the video that are very, very shitty. So I will get into that a little bit later. But, yeah, Prem's response basically put into perspective for me the reason I don't like his content. Because as I said earlier, I never knew why I didn't like Prem's content. I knew that he was negative, but that I don't mind people being negative. As I say, I like Game Apologist quite a bit. A lot of his takes are very, very negative, but he's like one of my favorite people in this community. So I never understood why I didn't like Prem's content. But Prem's response really put into perspective for me. I'm going to play some clips from Prem's response here, and then I'm going to elaborate on what I mean. So, yeah, take a look at this.
Now you might be thinking, Prem, that sounds stupid. And to that I say, no, that doesn't sound like Jayden from the Sonic Show.
Because watching preamy is just watching a regurgitated version of my videos, maybe the most obnoxious claim.
No, but seriously, Jayden from the Sonic Show is fucking stupid. Like, man covers news like 3 weeks late. Sorry, not man. Raccoon Boy covers news like 3 weeks fucking late and has the audacity to accuse me of stealing his news. You don't fucking own news. Are you in kindergarten? Even if you were the first to report something doesn't mean you own news. I was the first on YouTube to cover that Colors Ultimate had leaked, and everyone covered it afterwards. You don't see me going, everyone stole it from me. That's not how news works, you fucking idiot. You've been doing news for like how many fucking months? You got handed a channel from other people that built it when you were a fucking kid? While we started from scratch and we've been doing news for years, and you have the audacity to like act like people are copying me and da-da-da. No one wants to copy your raccoon content, okay? No one gives a fuck. My goal isn't to just cover news and be fake positive and then get everyone to like me. My goal is to discuss information and give my takes. Doesn't matter if I'm the 50th person to cover the news or the first. I will give my take if I feel like giving my take, and I won't give my take if I don't feel like saying anything on it. That's the difference between me and you. I actually have fucking substance in my content. Real opinions. Stay in your little corner with your positive raccoon videos, and I'll stay here and give people the real shit. The honest opinions. The raw shit.
Alright, so just so you guys know, that isn't actually a full response video. What that is that's a tiny little part of another video that he made discussing some Sonic news. I didn't bother watching the whole thing. I just skipped right to the part with the Sonic show stuff because it's all I really care about. Apparently, it was something about someone who worked on Yakuza leaving Sega, and apparently he also worked on Sonic a little bit, so it's like, okay. I was considering making a video on that, but I ended up just not doing it because I just don't think it's super important to Sonic. I mean, I know he's worked on Sonic, but whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, as he, right just smack bang in the middle of the video, he just starts talking about Jayden from the Sonic show. Now, I do want to preface this by saying, what Preamy said in that clip is not wrong. What he says in the clip is actually true. Whether you're the first person or the 50th person to cover news, as long as you're giving your take on it, that's fine. I have done this before. I have seen something, even from Prem before. Whenever Prem covered the thing about the Sonic Adventure remakes and what was going on with them, that caused me to go and make my own video. So yeah, it is fine to do that. But the problem is, that's not what he was criticizing Prem for. What he was criticizing Prem for was taking his video. Prem took Jayden's video and then used it as a source for his own video and didn't credit Jayden as the source. If you guys have ever watched a video of somebody talking about Sonic news, you'll probably have seen that they always say, I got this from Tails' channel, or I got this from such and such. Prem didn't do that when he talked about the news about a rapper playing Knuckles. And that's why Jayden was angry, because he wasn't cited as a source. Now, look, I have done this before, as I said. I don't remember if I cited Preamy as a source in that video, the Sonic Adventure one I was talking about, and if I didn't, I apologize. I'm going to try and better myself on that. If I haven't been doing that, I'll try and better myself when it comes to sources. I don't know, this just sort of made me think about my own content. If I did, I'm glad I remembered to. If I didn't, I'm going to try and better myself in the future. It's kind of all that YouTube's about for me. It's always bettering yourself, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't matter to the fucking story. But, whatever, yeah, so Prem is making good points, but as I said, that's not what Jayden was criticizing him for. And not only that, Jayden also, as I said, I haven't actually seen the video, but Jayden says that apparently Prem just straight up took his video and just rewrote it to work in his style, which I don't know if that's true, as I said, but if that is true, that's fucking disgusting. Now, one of the reasons that I'm not going back and looking into the video is, one, because Jesus Christ, I am not going to sit through like 2 fucking premydaremy videos for this, and 2, it was like, fuck me, it was so fucking long ago. Sonic news channels, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to scroll all the way back to find one video. Probably have to go through a bunch of different videos, blah, 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 blah. You get the fucking gist. But whatever. That is one thing that Prem responded to. But there's also some things in there that Prem said that are just fucking unnecessary. Like, obviously, as I say, he did make a good point with that. If you're the first, it doesn't matter if you're the first or 50th person to cover the news, even if it was not the fucking point. He did make a good point there. But then, as I say, there's some other things that he says that are just fucking uncalled for. So the first thing that he said, which I think is just fucking stupid, is that he criticizes Jayden. He literally says, you were handed a channel that people built when you were a fucking kid, and you have the audacity to criticize us who built from the ground up. Prem, I don't know how much you know about YouTube and the history of YouTube and all that stuff. The position that Jayden was in there is actually a very tough position to be in. Not to mention the fact that at the time that Jayden took over Sonic Show had 50k subscribers. And now it has over 100k. So, half, if not over half of the Sonic Show's audience was gotten by Jayden. So, I think he should have earned our respect by this point. That's one thing. But the other thing is, reviving a dead channel, which is what Sonic Show was at the time, is next to impossible. Like, I don't know how this didn't strike his mind. Maybe it's just me, because I know a lot about the history of YouTube and a lot of channels that have gone downhill and all that stuff. But once a channel has lost its main following and isn't getting as many subscribers anymore or views anymore, it's very, very hard to come back from that. But also on top of that, it's very hard to go from one host of a channel to another. Following up an original owner of a channel is actually very hard to do. Like, just look at Ray William Johnson, who was the original host of Equals 3. People absolutely loved him. He was great. He was great at it. I don't know. I didn't actually watch Equals 3, but I've heard from what I've heard, he was actually pretty good at it. And then he left, and the second host came on, and most people liked it. Again, most people liked him. But then he left, and then someone else came in, and people didn't like her. So it kind of killed that channel. Like, it's very hard to do what Jayden's done. Like, I don't know how I can describe that any better. Like, if anything, I think Jayden deserves more respect for what he's done. He's taken that channel and pushed it beyond what it originally was and brought it back from the dead. It's like, I think what he's done is very, very impressive. But not only that, to criticize Jayden for having taken over a channel that was already had a pretty decent following by the time that he had it, would you say the same about Evan from Tails' channel? Because Tails' channel is without a doubt one of the best Sonic channels on YouTube. And Evan didn't create that channel. Fucking Matt did. Like, I actually remember back whenever Matt was the host of Tails' channel, I didn't watch Sonic Show. I didn't really watch Tails' channel either, but I knew of it because I was a Commander Man 8456 fan. And yeah, like, Evan didn't create Tails' channel. And he's doing great over there. And like Tails' channel is like one of the best fucking channels to be subscribed to if you're a Sonic fan. So to criticize Jayden is to criticize Evan as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like, as long as you can go into that channel and improve it and do good shit with it, like, I think you're fine. And as I say, I think what Jayden's done is actually very, very impressive. So yeah, that argument is complete bullshit. But no, it goes even further than that, because then, now maybe this is just me taking it wrong, but it sounds like he's criticizing Jayden for being positive about the franchise. And I'm sorry, look, you can have a negative outlook on the franchise if you want. It's not my place to tell you not to. But it's also not your place to tell other people not to have a positive outlook. Like, just because you have a negative outlook and think all hope is fucking lost about a fucking kids franchise doesn't mean that everybody else has to be exactly like you and has to think that everything is shit. Alright? Not everybody has to have that mindset. It's actually a breath of fresh air to have someone like Jayden who is a little more positive and isn't just complaining about things every 5 seconds. But not only that, Jayden isn't just positive all the time. I don't know if you guys may have seen Jayden's video. Jayden made a video on Sonic Colors Ultimate and how you shouldn't buy the game because it's fucking blatantly unfinished and people shouldn't be supporting that. Now look, I don't think that video was very good. I don't think Jayden should have made that video because he hadn't played Sonic Colors Ultimate, and he didn't know that the glitches were seriously overblown in that game. I'm not saying Sonic Colors Ultimate was justified in the way it released. I am fucking furious about the way that game released. I know I probably give off a different vibe from what I've said on YouTube, but I'm actually livid about what happened with that game. But regardless, that's not the point. Point is, Jayden can be critical when he needs to be, but only when he needs to be. He has a positive outlook on the franchise, and yeah, if the franchise disappoints him, he's going to come out and say it. I'm the exact same. I mean, obviously, I do express worries about Sonic Rangers and how I don't think an open world game like that would work for Sonic. I just don't. I've said this in videos before. But, like, just because everybody else isn't as negative as Prem, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. And he doesn't even describe himself as negative. He describes himself as real and raw. And I'm like, your commentary is no more real and no more raw than Jayden's is. Just because he's positive doesn't mean he isn't real. It doesn't mean he's not raw. It's his opinion and it's fucking valid. Like, Prem, think about this, right? You don't like Sonic Colors, alright? You don't like Sonic Colors. You think it's just a basic alright game. But you like Sonic 06. Alright? You see that as a valid opinion, and you know what? It is. It is a valid opinion. If you like Sonic 06 and don't like Sonic Colors, that's completely fine. I can't fucking stand Sonic 06, and I fucking love Sonic Colors. You're going to call my opinion invalid? Because that's basically the exact same as saying that Jayden's videos aren't real and aren't raw. They are. Just because he's not negative every 5 seconds doesn't mean... Like, I don't know what the fuck more I can say about this. It's just... I think that's like genuinely one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I don't even know what to say. He also says that his content, unlike Jayden's, has substance. Look, Prem, I will say I definitely prefer your style of making videos to Jayden's. I just prefer the gameplay in the background and just talking over it. That's how I make videos. That's how I'm making this video. But you cannot deny that Jayden puts a lot more effort into his content. Like, the raccoon is always changing up its facial expressions. He's always zooming in, putting effects on it. Yeah, I think that's a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie. But still, you cannot deny that he puts a lot more effort into his videos than you or than you or me. Like, we just do the most basic shit. We just get gameplay and then talk over it. Like, he puts a lot more effort into his videos. You know what I mean? You cannot deny that. It's just a fucking fact. He has more substance. I don't even think you're using the word substance correctly here. I think your idea of substance is having real opinions. I think you think that Jayden is just being positive because he wants to think positive. That's the way you come off. But I think you'll understand that maybe that's just how he looks at the franchise. Maybe he just thinks the way the franchise is going could be alright. Maybe he's not just negative all the time. Okay, I literally just talked about this point. I'm going to stop. I am going to stop before I go on another fucking rant about this, because I will. I swear to God. But regardless, that brings me into the last point that I want to make about what Prem said. And it's kind of the point I was talking about earlier, about why I don't like Prem's content and how this kind of helped me realize why. Yeah, I don't hate Prem's content because he's negative. I hate Prem's content because he's a dick about it. Simple as that. If you watch any of Prem's videos, you'll know that whenever he's being negative, he always does this thing. Anytime he says something, when he's reading like an article, he'll make the screen go black for a second just to either laugh or scoff or make a fucking offhand comment about something. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, he's actually kind of a dick about his opinions. It's fine if you want to be negative and you want to be, I'm sure what you deem realistic, alright? That's completely fine, alright? But you don't have to, like, go about and scoff at some things that you're reading in fucking articles and take things to the absolute extreme. Like, in one of his videos, he was reading an article and says that Sega are making an open world game with Sonic because of the success of games like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. He makes the screen go back and says, yes, but those are good open world games. And then he laughs because he realizes how fucking that he's going to get a lot of hate for saying that. But it doesn't change the fact that you are a dick about your opinions. And in this fucking response video to Jayden, you call him stupid like 7 fucking times. Like, is this really necessary? Like, you have to, like he says, no, you may be saying, Prem, that sounds stupid. No, it doesn't sound like Jayden from the Sonic Show at all. No, but Jayden from the Sonic Show is seriously fucking stupid. And he says it like so many fucking times. I'm like, do you really need to call him stupid that much when your arguments that you're making are also fucking stupid? I'm not calling you stupid because, frankly, I don't think you are. I think some of the stuff you say in your videos is actually quite smart. But, like, seriously, is this really necessary? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I feel confident in saying this now because for ages, I was always afraid to come out and say that I didn't like Prem's content because the whole Sonic community is kind of gatekeepy towards his content, where if you say you don't like it, you get branded as a hater, because obviously because Prem gets a lot of hate. If you don't like his content, you just get branded as a hater and a toxic person who doesn't like that he's negative. Well, no, I'm fine with him being negative. I just think he's a dick about it. Like, and I was always afraid to come out and say I didn't like his content, as I said, because of that, but also because I didn't know why I didn't like it, you know what I mean? But now that I actually know why I don't like it, I'm fine with coming out and saying this, and I don't really care. You can give me some backlash in the comments. I don't fucking care anymore. Like, this is just, I don't care now. I refuse to give a shit now, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say about the Prem situation. Now on to the next fucker. So as I said, I'm not going to go into the whole GamerGuyd situation If you want, as I say, if you want to know more, go watch Jayden's video on it from a couple of years ago. I'm just going to talk about what he said in his response to Jayden and how unnecessary this was and how bullshit his response is, because frankly, some of the stuff he says in it is appalling. It is actually ridiculous that a human being would say this kind of thing. So yeah, let's not waste time. Let's just get into this fucking thing so I can get this over with. So he starts off his response basically by just repeating everything Prem said. I'm not really going to go too deep into this. The only thing I really want to bring up is that he says that everybody does clickbait and the Jayden shouldn't be acting like he's much better than everyone else, and uses the video new Sonic show confirmed cancelled something like that as evidence of this. Now, I personally do count what Jayden does as clickbait, and yes, we all do clickbait. It's a fucking fact, alright? Like, clickbait, by fucking definition, is something that you put in your title and thumbnail to get people to click the video. I think what Jayden sees clickbait as is a lie, but that's not always necessarily true. I don't know. If we're gonna count clickbait as a lie, then what the fuck do we call what Jayden does? You know what I mean? It is clickbait. There's just slightly worse versions of clickbait. I said this to somebody in my comment section once, that I consider what I do slightly less shitty clickbait. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. But I do want to say that he says that video title, New Sonic Show Confirmed Cancelled, was purposefully clickbaity and shit to make people think that Sonic Prime was cancelled and all that stuff, when in fact it just means that the Sonic Show, the YouTube channel, is cancelled. And I don't think Jayden intended to make people think that, but it is quite misleading, and I don't know how he didn't pick up on that. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was an actual kind of interesting point. But now on to the bullshit.
But I mean, if you want to go that route and blame Premy for taking your ideas, why don't you talk about Ricardo, huh? Speed Supersonic. I mean, he makes videos on topics Premy and I make all the time. I'll make a video, he'll make one right afterwards on the same topic I did, and he'll do the same to Premy. Sometimes he'll give us a shout out, sometimes he won't. Who cares? Oh yeah, you won't talk about him because he's your friend and part of the Jeffrey 6.
So yeah, I just wanted to mention this part real quick because yeah, he's basically missing the point, just like Prem did. The reason Jayden's criticizing Prem is because he doesn't cite his sources. But Ricardo does cite his sources. In fact, he has literally cited Prem and GamerGuyd as sources before. I've heard him do it. So yeah, that's one thing. But he also say that the reason Jayden won't talk about Ricardo is because they're friends and all that stuff. Now, as Jayden says in the video, he's actually not in Jeffrey 6 anymore, but that's not really important. But yeah, the whole thing is, he says, oh no, you won't talk about Ricardo because he's your friend. Motherfucker, that is the same reason that Prem is standing up for you. You are like, I'm not going to really get into this, because if I say one thing, people are going to be like, what? Just go and watch Jayden's video to understand why I'm like, I really do not like GamerGuyd. But yeah, that's the exact same reason. That's the whole reason Prem even hates Jayden, is because Jayden doesn't like GamerGuyd. And like, oh, dude, that is so hypocritical. Like, what the fuck?
Hardly anyone comes to you for serious and factual Sonic news. You're not Tails channel. They come to you for the flashy editing to fill their short attention spans. Because, let's face it, your audience, like you, are mostly made of autistic children. You said it yourself, you and your girlfriend are autistic, so it only makes sense that you, Jayden, would know how to capitalize on your autistic audience more than Prem and I ever could. And good job doing that. I applaud you for that. That's why you have over 100k subs. A lot of Sonic fans are autistic. I have some close friends that are on the spectrum too, so I'm just laying the facts here.
Alright, so this one, I really do not like this. Like, as somebody who is autistic, I fucking hate this so much. Like, first of all, to say that Jayden could even take advantage of autistic people just because he's autistic, I didn't even know. Is Jayden even autistic? If he is, like, okay, if he is, that's cool, obviously, but like, I don't even know if that's true. I think GamerGuyd may be taking some stuff out of context there, but whatever. Regardless, even if Jayden did know how to take advantage of autistic people, like, you can't know how to take advantage of autistic people because every case of autism is different, dude. Like, I know a lot of autistic people, like in real life, like not even just online, but like in person, and none of them are the same as me. Every case is different. There's no way to appeal to an autistic audience. That's just not a thing that happens. But also, GamerGuyd, dude, I guarantee you a majority of your audience is probably autistic as well. Alright? I can tell you this. You say yourself, a lot of Sonic fans are autistic. That is a fact. I can tell you this because whenever Emmy Jones did her Sonic Adventure race with Trey Nobles, I was in the chat, and at one point it was brought up that one of the guys in the chat, one of the guys brought up the fact he was autistic, and then a bunch of us also came out and said we were too. There was like a solid 9 of us in there. Like, I swear to God, there's a lot of autistic Sonic fans. I think most Sonic fans are probably autistic. I wouldn't be surprised. That's not even a bad thing. I think that's actually really fucking cool. You know what I mean? It's like it's a good community, and the community should nurture that. But like, you can't just go out and say, oh, most of your, because the way he says it like most of your audience are autistic children. It's like, so what? Most of your audience probably is too. But as I said before, this argument just completely falls flat on its face because you can't take advantage of an autistic audience. Like I said, every autistic person is different. It is like, that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, oh my God.
And what's funny is you don't back up anything. Like, can you specify why you keep saying criminal in your video? Do you even know what a criminal is? What's criminal is you bashing Premydaremy on your video, 2 black Sonic tubers while skipping out on TWIP. And in that same video, you show off your black girlfriend as a way to be like, see, I'm not prejudiced, guys. I have a black girlfriend. You're full of shit.
So this is the dumbest argument in the whole fucking video, alright? This is actually, like, I don't even know... Right, so about the criminal thing, again, go and watch Jayden's video from back in 2019. Just look up GamerGuyd7Aces Sonic Show, and there should be a video, as I said, I already said the name of it earlier, but, like, yeah, go watch that if you want to know the whole criminal thing, because he backs that up pretty fucking well in that video. But... this is ridiculous. To play the race card, like, are you fucking serious, dude? Really? Like, you're really gonna go there? Like, okay, look. So, a lot of people seem to be confused as to why he says that Jayden criticizes GamerGuyd and Prem, but skips out on TWIP. A lot of people are confused about that, and rightfully so. That's very random to bring up. But I've heard GamerGuyd say before in some of his videos that he thinks that the Sonic fan base groups Prem, himself, and TWIP together as the negative Sonic YouTubers, and like puts them all together and like groups them all together into like a 3. I've heard him say that before. That is something that he sees. So he thinks that just because the Jayden's not going after TWIP and only going after the 2 black ones, that he's racist. Which is just fucking stupid, by the way, especially considering that TWIP is much better at actually dealing out, like, criticism. Like I said, like, yeah, TWIP can be pretty negative sometimes, but he's better at putting it out there than GamerGuyd and Prem are. GamerGuyd and Prem, whenever Sonic Colors Ultimate came out, just started bitching about it and started talking about, oh, Sega being Sega again. What did TWIP do? TWIP went out and put video compilations together of all the glitches to help Sega patch them. Like, I gained a lot of respect for TWIP. I already had a decent amount of respect for TWIP, but I gained a lot more respect for him when he did that, because instead of making a video like, oh, Sonic Colors Ultimate, blah, 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 glitchy mess, he went out and actually tried to help them fix the game. I respect the shit out of that. Like, that is a good thing to do. Meanwhile, GamerGuyd and Prem over here are just going about bitching about it like fucking Sega just killed their family. You know what I mean? It's like, come the fuck on. But no, then he brings it even further by saying the fact that Jayden shows a picture of his girlfriend who is black and says, oh, this is just you trying to make it seem that you're not racist. Okay, look. First off, he never brings up her race in the video. He just brought it up because somebody mentioned on the Reddit thread that his girlfriend seemed uncomfortable, and he wanted to just say that, you know, she wasn't uncomfortable. I don't know, it was her idea, which she later confirmed in his video responding to these responses. But, yeah, not only that, how are you gonna call him racist, but also acknowledge that he has a black girl? Why would he have a black girlfriend if he was racist? That doesn't make sense. Like, dude, there's dogs barking outside. But, like, dude, come on. Like, that is actually, like, really? I'm sorry, that's dumb. That is so fucking dumb. I don't even, oh my god, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Alright, so that's basically all I wanted to say about GamerGuyd. I didn't really want to get too much into it. I just wanted to bring that up, like those arguments, because I thought those arguments were fucking stupid. I just wanted to bring some light to that. I just wanted to give some information on those I feel like a lot of other people wouldn't have been giving. So there's that. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Please be civil in discussing this. I do not want a fucking flame war starting in my comments. I swear to fucking God. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.